Welcome to the Lift Oneself podcast, where we break mental health stigmas through conversations. I'm your host, Nat Nat, and we dive into topics about trauma and how it impacts the nervous system. Yet we don't just leave you there. We share insights and tools of self-care, meditation, and growth that help you be curious about your own biology. Your presence matters. Please like and subscribe to our podcast. Help our community grow. Let's get into this. Oh, and please remember to be kind to yourself. Welcome to the Lift Oneself podcast. This is going to be our first in-person, and we are going to get into truth. And I'm going to introduce my guests at the table. We are Reds
Wizdom,
Perera, affectionately known in the entity level as Dawg E Slaughter.
Captain.
And you know me, Nat Nat. And so I'm going to start this dialogue with asking each of us to define what is truth for you.
Woo.
oh boy. Mm-hmm.
Captain, you could start.
So you are Mr. Slaughter. Since you wanted to engage in some deep dives, you are the first one to step the stage and give us what your definition of truth is.
All right, so my definition of truth. Truth is something that cannot be hidden. It is like oil to water. It is what frees us from that bind that holds most of us down, which is lies, which is fake, which is unreal. And truth is something most people would say that they could accept or handle, but the truth and fact is, it's actually the opposite. But we'll talk about that a little more in depth when we start to touch.
And I just want to say, as a host, I forgot to introduce one other person because they weren't sitting at the table at the time.
Hey! Ho!
It's Special K.
If you didn't hear that, Special K. Okay, now Reds, woman, let's hear what your definition of truth is for you.
Well, as we talk about truth, for me, and I know I see eyes rolling already. Is it possible to have two truths that are different at the same time? Mm-hmm. Recognizing that what my reality looks like can be very different than what your reality looks like or your reality looks like. And so what is true for me, for somebody else may be perceived to be a lie. So for me, when I'm looking at truth, and they often say there's two stories, two sides, and then there's the truth in between. Meaning that each person's quote unquote truth is their perspective versus the actual truth itself. And the question is, how do we get there? So not really an answer,
It is.
but more a reflection of truth for me.
Yeah. So let's go, Mr. Wizdom.
I think I view it opposite. I'm an absolute person. Truth just is what it is. The sun rises is a truth. The sun sets is a truth. The sky is blue, to me, is a truth. It's my truth. So I don't necessarily go down the road of perspective. I feel there is a truth, and then you deal with how someone perceives that truth. I think truth hurts in some instances. I think truth heals in some instances. But again, for me, it's an absolute. So my quest daily, my lifelong quest, is to find ways to accept truths and deal with truths that might not be in alignment with what I want or what I think, but being able to accept them and live with them is my perspective on it.
There you go, sir.
Well, in addition to whatever's been said before, I mean, I have a lot of what's been said I agree with, but to me, truth is a foundation. It's like you're building a house, you have to get the foundation in to get the rest of the rooms right. So that's the truth. If the truth is wonky, then you're not sure. Right?
The truth is, what? Let me get my dictionary. Wonky?
Unstable.
I've never heard that word
Wonky.
before. Thank you for sharing.
If the foundation isn't built right, it's unstable. The house is unstable and it can fall at any moment.
Gotcha.
Like we were talking about before about people flipping off and just snapping.
Yeah.
That could be why. Maybe all the time stuff has been going on and then that's the last straw. Whatever happened to cause it. So to me, it's just a base, a foundation, and we can build from there. If we don't have the truth, then we cannot go up any further.
Ms. Special K, what is truth for you?
I think that or for what do we call the four guys that spoke?
The panel.
The panel of four people. I think I kind of sit within all four of you. I think that truth can be defined in two different concepts. You have actual truth, which is what you guys talked about, the sky is blue. But then there is acceptance of truth within my own self. As what Michelle had said, the perception of what is truthful to me may not be truthful to you, but it's how I accept that information that is truth. And it's defined by the two different concepts of truth. It will never be the same in everybody's eyes, but I think we have to separate it.
Can they live together?
Can they coexist?
Can they coexist?
They have to be, though. It's like love and hate.
So truth and perception is like love it. You can't have one without the other. Okay.
So as you're correct,
Okay.
you have truth.
I wasn't
things that
telling
are
you were
just-
wrong. I never really
I get it.
considered.
Because there are things that are just factual.
So truth and perception is like love it. You can't have one without the other. Okay.
So as you're correct,
Okay.
you have truth.
I wasn't
things that
telling
are
you were
just-
wrong. I never really
I get
considered.
it. Because there are things that are just factual truth. It is just how the world and society is structured. But then there is also truth of acceptance within the individual and how they perceive certain things that cannot be changed, but how do they see it? So I have to be in acceptance to myself, my truth, because my truth may not be your truth.
So are you saying that truth is like beauty? How you can look at something and see it and see it's
Right.
beautiful?
In a way, yes.
And I can look at it and say it's wonky?
Exactly. It lies within that acceptance
Yeah, yeah. Understand.
in a nutshell.
And yourself?
So truth for me requires honesty. And that is what is lacking in the world.
This woman deeper than a river.
And to reveal our honesty and our vulnerability to meet in that space where we have different perceptions, that's where truth lies. There's absolute truth, as you've mentioned, the facts. The sun goes up, we have gravity, we need our breath to be able to breathe. And even in that, our definitions keep expanding because we're told you can, if you're not breathing at a certain amount of time, you're going to die. Yet other people have developed other experiences of not breathing for an hour and still living. So these truths that they have created as absolute truths, we go to explore to see, is there more depth to it? Yet to get to truth, because we all are connected in the one self. So we all have that knowledge and wisdom, yet we have to go within ourselves to get to that wisdom. And most of us have been led to not trust ourselves and to inquire and be curious of what is truth. Yet you need that honesty and vulnerability to be able to go in this uncertain, unknown territory and also reveal yourself to another person in your raw truth, which may not be accepted by another person. So as Keisha said, I have my truth and somebody else has their own truth. Yet can we coexist without trying to robe each other up because we don't like what we're seeing or what we're feeling? And that requires a witnessing of pain. Because yes, truth has a sharpness to it because there's things that we're lying to ourselves or that we don't know how to feel to come into that fear. Go ahead.
When you finish, I want
I'm done.
to say something. So this podcast today, obviously we'll be doing a lot of interactions. I believe in raising up my hand to when I want to say something. It's just an old school trait. I was raised like that. What's nice about this panel is that everyone seemed to have a journey behind them. I could see it. It's almost like I could feel it around this table. I could watch your face. I could feel it. I could watch you. I could watch he. I could watch everybody here and get that sense that we have had great times, happy times. We have had some of the worst times. We understand pain. We cried a lot. We know what it is to bounce back after. Even the people that we thought had our backs or was in our corner, them are not doing the back. But all of this is the part of the journey which makes the now great. A friend of mine said something to me I never forgot. He said, if the bitter wasn't as bitter, then the sweet wouldn't be so sweet. You just said something about perspective, which is a very good point moving forward. I don't know how long you would want to stay on certain topics, but I just want to add something to that. Everyone has a different experience. But the one thing that stands out to me is, children will be listening to this, so I'd say it in old people slang. My grandmother and elders that I met said something to me that made the most sense. They always say, if you have chocolate or shadow benny, it will be chocolate or shadow benny. But if you take that and you roll it in shit, it is still shit. With shadow benny or chocolate, so it's still shit. Yeah. So respectfully, I say that to say the truth. It can be nothing else but the truth. It can be nothing else. And the perception of the truth, we're still coming back down to the base of it, which is it's truth or it's not truth. And if it is truth, then we have to be willing to say, you know what? I never looked at it like that. Your approach was nice. He went real harsh. But
wonky.
I was going to say that's where Nat Nat, I agree with Nat Nat on honesty really is the key word in what you just said.
Yeah, I totally agree. But I was going to say that too. So honesty has a major part to play.
Yes, sir.
With truth. Now the perspective, again, still boils back down to honing in and highlighting the truth. Because if we deal with perspective, respectfully, we could be here all day talking about tomato.
And fighting.
That. We want to get to the core, which hopefully we, because you mentioned truth, I wasn't expecting that question, so it's nice. So on the topic of truth, you have to have honesty, and honesty even more so within, before everybody else, yourself. Carry.
The thing about truth is you have to be able to see things about yourself that you may not be willing to see to get to that truth. And if you want to grow, a lot of people say they want to grow, yet they do not do the warrior work of facing themselves and going through that pain of acceptance of, oh, I actually do that? Because I have a perception of myself that I may be really kind, but I won't accept that I might tell somebody off.
Okay, go.
No, I just have a question. I'm going to ask for the people like me who aren't too bright.
Don't say that. I have not seen that.
The difference between truth and honesty.
Yeah.
Do they interact? Like how are they different? How is truth
They're not
different
different.
than honesty?
You need to get to the truth. You need that honesty. And a lot of us have these defense mechanisms that have blocked us from truth because we don't know how to be vulnerable. Like you just said, I'm not the brightest one in the room, or that you don't feel. Many people wouldn't be able to say that to want to learn. Because truth doesn't know that you are an absolute and you know everything. Truth shifts
That's deep.
and shapes because life is impermanent.
That's deep.
What we knew as children and what these children are growing up, two different worlds.
Yeah, for sure.
So truth has changed in that. Yet what's absolute, the sun comes up. Our winters are different. What we knew how winter was, yet these things evolve, and that's where we're supposed to evolve and adapt.
Okay.
So truth is there, and it's always engaging of, are we being honest? Are we feeling? Are we able to have dialogues to see our different perspectives so that we can come into innovation, not stay archaic?
Okay.
How can we repollinate and grow with each other?
I just asked because you asked us about truth, and we all answered truth, but you answered about honesty. So I thought there was something different in there.
Because nobody spoke about honesty of, if you want to get to truth, you need that honesty.
Okay.
But a lot of people will put this persona or defense mechanisms of, well, it's only, like, say for instance, I conduct meditation or energy healing. And when I come and present to people of religious status, they will not hear nothing about that because my belief system tells me that that's the devil. I am not even willing to engage to hear anything about that.
Okay.
So these things do not allow us to engage of, let me just listen. And let me have some honesty of, let me share my perspective without you trying to tell me that my truth, my experience is wrong. So it comes hand in hand. It's not one or the other. It's to get to like a truth, needing that disrobing, and let's engage of our messiness, of our naked truths, of really exposing our experiences, exposing our pain, and allowing us to teach us.
But I want to suggest something.
Excuse me.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. He can go ahead. She kind of touched a little bit on what I was going to say.
My kid didn't.
I was going to say, yes, she's correct. I don't think there's a difference between truth and honesty. However, we sometimes know something to be truthful, but because we cannot be honest to acknowledge the truth, then it becomes a different entity until you can merge them together to get.
Well, watch husband and
But
wife tag
it's-
team. Oh my God.
I think truth is the first step. So once you can be honest, you can be truthful, and from there, everything is built. Truth, self-love, self-peace, happiness, respect, love. Everything else stemmed from the foundation, right? So, but she kind of said most of what I was about to say. So no, you were good. And it really depends on your journey and where you're trying to get to. And so I know, like, off topic a little bit. So I'm on a journey right now, which I started during COVID, of self-peace. And how do I not allow others, I don't know if it's their story, but others to inflict on that, and then in return kind of saying, okay, well, can I take in this? Will this interrupt my peace? And I will tell you, hey, I can't deal with this right now because I'm trying to build this and I still need to get, but I think it's all connected together. Yeah.
So I was going to say, now half of what I said was said, but in terms of the honesty, most people have a perception in their head. So you were saying sometimes it's the person's unwillingness, or so I would say to you, it's not always that the person cannot see or didn't see. They saw, but their or their idea of what they saw is different than what actually is. So I laugh and say to people, you ever see when people make their avatar for on a phone or whatever the case is, and then you say that don't look nothing.
So true.
Right? But in their mind, they're cute, you know what I mean? Like that's not you. But they, I believe that's me.
The filters.
So an artist came here once and he said, on your worst day, when you're having the worst day, strip naked, put on your favorite song and look in the mirror and dance, singing your favorite song. And because at that point, there's no lies. You cannot lie about what you're seeing in the mirror. You might not tell someone else what you saw, but what you see is what you see. And it, for some reason, magically takes away that, because you're vulnerable, you're honest, you cannot lie, that this is truth. I'm looking at what I am reacting to, and there's no, again, what you tell someone outside, but man, you know how good I look here. Well, you know what I mean? But that's raw truth. So most times I would say when people say they didn't see, they saw. They just didn't accept what they saw. And there was no check and balance to say, oh no, you're saying A, but it was actually B, because everyone is, okay, if that's what you saw, that's what you saw. But like you said, when you become honest, when your perception is reality, then sometimes that story starts to change, and not everybody's ready for the other story. Mm-hmm. So I built my story. That's the story I'm going with.
You got Michelle next. Reds.
No.
Okay.
It was you?
No, it was you.
No, you're next. You're next.
Let me stir the pot a little bit now. I like to stir the pot. But before I stir that, I just want to say, everybody, if you're listening to this podcast, Special K don't want nobody putting their glass on the table. So that is the truth, and I'll be able to stand.
I was very honest.
Outing me like that.
But so in stirring the pot, I would say this. So there's the truth to who and what type of truth we're speaking about, because they have relevant truths and they have the others that we may not deem as relevant. So that's the next serious thing, because me saying to everybody I feel like it's the best thing only is different than me saying to my other half or significant other, listen, I really have good intentions towards this and allowing it to work, and I want to be truthful, and this is how I think I could do it. And if you could add something to it that could allow me to be a better head of the house, let's sit down, talk. That's the next.
That's a whole podcast on its own.
So then the truth here would have to necessarily be the truth of self-improvement, not necessarily you know what I'm trying to say? Like, because it's true. Truth is so huge, right? But I think where I'm getting from the podcast is like, it's more, what is the truth that I need to grow outwards and inwards? So this way it narrows it down a little bit.
Well, yes, but again, now like this little pot again. So it have
big pot.
Yeah, what this pot bigger than them pot? What is called wine meeting? There's truth within ourselves that can help us attain peace of mind, mental health, these things. But then there's also, oh gosh, look at where I'm going to go here now. What are you doing, man? There's also the truth between us and the Creator. Because the truth that the Creator send the ordinances through is a different truth to that of the world. And the Most High people is here and they don't question, because when I look at people try to question the Most High, I just laugh to myself, and I just be look at that, the Most High tell all they what to do in the ordinances and thing, and all it is use it conveniently, because it how people use scriptures conveniently. They eating pork, they eating shrimp, they eating all the things that he tell them to eat, but when they hear them, their Lord, you know, I have to take that. So it's a serious thing, because the Creator tell you to hear and do, and you're questioning him even when everything is before you, because trust me, it's before you. I was telling Mikey earlier that your spirit just try to depart from you when you're doing the wrong thing against the Most High, you know. And if you're doubting what I'm saying, let me go back to times when we was about to do something and see we own spirit, we grandmother, we praying mother, somebody called me and say, listen, you're going there, don't go there for me now, please, stay now, stay home today, don't go nowhere. And we just happen to say, but we dressing still and we going, and the Most High Because the spiritual man and the conscious man and the physical man is supposed to there. Sometimes when you dress to go out and death waiting there for you, the Most High just put sleep up on you. And you end up, you dress all the time, you don't miss a party. But that night, here you, oh gosh, you wake up 7 in the morning, here you God girl up trying to be but why not getting she? It's because the car crashed with all of them in it and you wasn't supposed to be there. Shooting happened in the club. And you just normally be right there and the Most High preserve your life because he have something else for you to do. But let me go back now for a little bit before I cut it short on the laws. We have laws to follow. We have laws to follow. It's written in it. We know that. Even when we don't know, we spirit this guide. We just know, we just feel it. It's the spirit just move different. Mouth to ears is physical. Spirit to spirit is something that the spiritual aspect that does move with. And you just feel it. All your pause does read. Some people just call it, well, boy, you know, my vibes. Yeah, call it what you want. You just know the difference with something physical and something spiritual. You just know the difference. But yet, we wouldn't question the laws of man because the police, which is man, the judicial system just tell you if you drink and we catch you on the road, you get a ticket for $1,000 or you could be sent to prison for 6 months. We don't question that because after we first time and realize, oh shit, boy, this serious, boy, you've got to be good money. We save for the vacation, babes. Look, we have to pay in ticket now. But when it comes to the Most High, here we now. So why woman can't cover the head?
Yeah.
Who says so?
Yeah.
I take it. Why? So no, we live in a world now where people even. Oh God, look at where we're going. Look at where we're going. Why are them?
No, continue, please.
It's true.
All right.
Continue.
All right, I'm going. I know somebody who listening to this go hang me in the square. But when they say a woman not supposed to usurp authority over a man, now or you unlearn everything that you learned before. I say this humbly because I want to get a certain understanding. I'm saying this to debate because everybody has to know the work, right? A husband can beg for his wife on Judgment Day. Parents can beg for children, right?
Okay.
When that was meant, it don't mean that a man had advantage or silence a woman.
No.
Right.
If you want him to be the head of the home, let me be real with yourself. Oh, look at where they have me going. Some men just get it right. And some don't get it right. And they will fall down plenty. But you have to stand with him until he get it right. And then...
When you were talking about, like, sitting in your peace, it reminds me, so for myself, as a codependent in recovery...
Special case. Special case.
So as a codependent in recovery, when I've been at my healthiest is when I feel like I'm sitting in the eye of the storm. The world around me could just be whipping around. There could be all kinds of hurt and things going on, but it does not rock my peace or my joy. And I'm able to stand in that for myself. And along those lines, when you talk about connectivity and connectivity to self, but also connectivity on a larger scale, tying into what you said about messages and listening. It's in those moments where I have heard messages, and not necessarily messages for myself, but messages for others. And I remember I woke up a day and I'm like, I need to talk to so-and-so. I haven't talked to them in years, but I need to call them. And I call them up and, chit-chat, very brief. And I said, you know what? I have a message for you. I'm like, I know it'll sound weird, but I'm just telling you, you need to hear me and take it and do what you need with it. I said, but there's somebody in your life that says that they're a friend. They're not a friend, And they may apologize, but they're not your friend. And there's something that they're doing behind your back. And you need to be careful. And the person stopped and they said, how do you know? Because I'm dealing with that right now. I'm like, I don't know. I just got this message and I just had to share it with you. And I find when we are in that space of connectivity, then we hear what is meant, not necessarily for us, sometimes for others. But it's only in that space of calm peace, openness, vulnerability, and truth, that we get that. The busyness of the world is what keeps people from connecting into that, because I believe we all have that. I don't think it's reserved for one over another. There are times in my life I'm so far from it, I have no clue. And there are other times where I'm so close to it, where I can foresee death and miss it.
Can I say amen?
You just did.
Because you've literally hit a nail. And it's not that I don't think everyone has it. I think everyone does. But I don't think everyone is willing to accept the energy of it. And I also believe that when you're in that space of peace, I can be more helpful to you if you're dealing with something.
Yes.
Because I can learn how to separate what you're dealing with my peace. I don't think if I am not strong, I cannot help you the way. It's like, the mom, do you save yourself first or do you save your child first? Well, if I am dying, I cannot save my child, right? So I think that it's interesting because I don't want to go too deep with it, but I get that you just talked about, and for the longest time I was telling Mikey a couple of weeks back, I go, something is going to happen that will rock our world beyond imagination, or thing. And two things have happened back to back.
In walked Dawg E Slaughter.
But when it all happened, again, it was the same thing. I was in such a clear space that I was able to receive that information. I didn't know who, what, when. I just have a general. So I typically talk to him about it, and then we see it unfold. And sometimes, I can get a stronger feeling and be able to go, I think. But again, are you willing to hear me if I came to you, right, to say A, B, C? It's such an interesting thing because it's all about this connection.
We've shared that experience, Michelle. Reds. Reds. I have come to you and I've shared certain things. I have blocked that part of me for a very long time to be able to belong with people, because when you are going to share things that people may not want to receive the message, there is a disruption that happens and the connection gets severed. So the wanting to belong trumps over the truth of what you've been given as a vessel. And the thing that is why we get so caught up of not being in our peace is that safety. And we seek that safety. And right now we're creating such a space of safety that more and more we're opening and we're letting things be revealed so other people can have that safety within themselves and not think, oh, is it just me? Because we all have, like I said, we all have that connection with the one self, higher power, whatever name you want to call it, yet we've been disconnected from it to go into the worldly world. And our return back home into our body, into that connection, allows all this thing to come so naturally that we're like, whoa, is this woo-woo? Is this made up? Yet you see the connection and it's palpable. And at a certain point, you're no longer going on the outside to get validation. You are just listening to the guidance of what's needed and what is, you're this transmitter of a radio. And I go to another point where it's been challenging these past few weeks, yet I've delved into it because those from the other side of love come and channel through me and speaking messages for other people. And that has been with me, yet I haven't allowed it to come out because I understand how disruptive it can be for people. Yet I present it in a way where it's like, it's just the other side of love. And the emotions that you've been feeling have blocked that signal to really feel that presence of them. And once you start really interacting and feeling that, then you're able to feel that presence without needing to go on the outside. Yet it's that safety piece of our nervous system to regulate so that we can validate ourselves. Yet we've been looking on the outside for so long to get that safety of co-regulation and just creating spaces like this that we can dive deep and nobody's attacking each other or telling them. And it's like, okay, if I don't believe in or don't see it the way you are, I'm not going to shut you down. I'm going to digest it to see, is there something that I can see differently? But it's these safe spaces that I'm cultivating, especially with this podcast, that we can dive deep and we can start being our natural selves.
Funny that you mentioned oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Anyone had their hands up? Kish, you had
No.
Again.
I think
Special case.
No. I think
Special case.
Can you edit my name out?
Yeah. But it's funny that you mentioned the next word that I wasn't expecting you to mention. That word, safe space. That is such a vital word. It has such great importance because safe space is something that a lot of people touch on, but they don't really go in depth with, and it's a very serious thing. And coming from the Caribbean, I would admit that a lot of people in the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago especially, other countries as well, I'm sure, but in Trinidad and Tobago, a lot of people are traumatized. You know? Listen, life how we know it in the Caribbean is totally flipped upside down, and it's become a normal thing. It's a normal thing for your grandparents to tell you, well, when I was small, my mother used to beat me and let me kneel down on a grater. Are you mad? You ever kneel down on a grater?
I have.
I have too. Would you really like your children to go through that?
Yeah.
And they would use this because their grandparents and their parents handed that down, and so you have a whole generation that grew up learning how to approach things the wrong way.
Well, it worked for them, right? Look at me. I am so good now, so now it must work.
Yes, but what they do tell you is the other stories. And next common thing in the Caribbean, uncle touching niece, father touching daughter. It had this man one time I go into the studio. This mashed me up because I couldn't understand it. My partner said, Dawg, you see all the daughters in the yard? I say, yeah. He say, see the father say down there? I say, yeah. He say, see all the children? I say, yeah, well, here are real grandchildren. He say, grandchildren.
Children. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's father and grandfather.
Yeah. On a bad day, he's grandfather. And on a good day, he's their father.
Yeah. Well, my mother talked about how her father's friends had said to him, you don't mind cow for other people to milk.
Wow. And these things, hold on a minute. And these things are common. Now, when you watch the crime situation in Trinidad and Tobago today, people say, no, God, Trinidad gets so bad. It have people like this even talk to and say, oh, be careful when I go in. Nah, them thing happening to me until it happened to them. And you know what they just do? Me go to Trinidad again, look, they rob me, they kill my husband, this is the... But I was telling you that all the time. I was telling you to be careful. I was telling you to be vigilant. I was telling you to open my eyes. They never did, right? You have people that committing acts now, and if you really ask them, we're doing this for? Who sent you to fight this war? And when you watch the father get murdered, the sons get murdered, their sons get murdered, everybody get murdered. It's from a war that stem that the ancestor way. Like the grandfather went and sleep with the neighbor wife, and the neighbor come and choppy, and this happened and that happened. And then you have a lot of people dealing in necromancy. Let me tell you something. If you plant good seed, you will reap good fruit. And if you plant wicked seed and you hire in wickedness, sometimes you're watching people, that people will hate you. And it's nothing that you do there, brother. There is thing about that. You just going about your thing, you're praying, you're handling your business, you're doing your thing, and them just find you not supposed to be there. You're not supposed to get a promotion. Forget that. Why she get it? Instead of me, they go on by somebody to do something, plan something by your house and that kind of thing. And don't ever be naive and think it don't have evil out there. It really, listen, it have it. I live in proof of that.
We know it's within ourselves. Look how you treat yourself sometimes.
True. Yeah.
Look how you berate yourself, or you're not even able to engage with certain emotions and how you attack yourself.
So if you're willing to do that to yourself,
Of course,
what
yeah.
can you expect from someone else? So, yeah.
So it's being able to engage to understand how powerful, the duality that goes on inside ourselves.
Okay.
Yet having these conversations allows us to, let's surrender our defenses and create the safety of, let's talk about this, and let's actually not even talk, let's feel, because that's what we've been doing around this table.
I love this table. This table have plenty to say, and I know when we start to touch the things, I know it will have more to say. And that is what I want them to hear.
That's why we use a coaster. So you can love the table.
Wow.
That's why we
You can love the table longer.
Amen.
So let's get into, you said about the Caribbean.
Funny that you mentioned that because I came prepared for this particular topic. So,
I'll let take your eyes. You're good now? You're sure you're good? Okay.
As we're talking about the Caribbean and truth, we were discussing yesterday in regards to the culture and how some have hijacked the culture and changed it, whereas where are the people with the actual culture and the depthness of it? So the floor is yours, Mr. Slaughter.
all right. I actually prepared myself before we came into this podcast because there were a few things that we needed to highlight because we must understand the root of a problem, or else we'll just be spinning top and more dealing with
It'll be
problem.
wonky.
It would be wonky.
Wonky.
So a few things that I managed to highlight that we could also speak on, and we could speak based on truth, on facts, is there a monopoly or a series of monopolies that deals with this particular cultural aspect of soca and carnival? Is there a mafia? The growth and understanding the growth of this genre is something we need to definitely discuss today. And everybody who listening to this podcast will be able to learn a lot of things that they might be just sweeping under the carpet. The origin is important. The education, passion, understanding the culture, understanding what is music and the business of music. What can be done? What isn't done? Telling the history and understanding that it is much more bigger than we can imagine. So realistically, we have to keep it real with ourselves and know that it's going to take a lot to fix it, to put it where it needs to be. It's a very serious thing. I hope we have enough time within this hour. So you pitch is an open floor, and let's take it from there.
Well, as you talk, for me, what comes to mind as a first generation Canadian is growing up in a community where the Trinidadian community was strong. So much so that it was still a very big part of my life. I went home to Trinidad every year. It always felt like it was a part of me. And here we'd have caravans and we'd go to this thing, we'd go to that thing, and we'd do Toronto and Montreal all together as a community. And yet when I look at my younger brothers, they don't have that same connection. But when I look at my children, 6 years old, and one of them then already tell me, Mommy, I'm moving to Trinidad. That's where I'm going to grow up. That's where I want to live.
Oh, listen, is this where I in the hot seat and I have to answer some questions? Or is it for me? I'm just making sure. I want to know if they treat me. I need to go inside of here with my ring of fire.
Better drink the last one.
Yeah, I just need to make sure. So
But for me, it really ties into preserving the culture. And, how do we ensure that that it's there? Every last drop.
Can we get a picture of that?
But how do we preserve the culture, not only for ourselves, but on the larger society scale?
it's funny that you mentioned that because I could speak on experience, and I've been very fortunate to be one of them from that came in with the elders and that into this generation to understand them. A lot of things have changed from back then to now. Yet some things remain the same. Okay, there we go. Back in the days, there was Lord Kitchener. I'm going to say a lot with little words, right? Back in the days, there was Lord Kitchener and Mighty Sparrow. Lord Kitchener and Mighty Sparrow, if you speak to elders on Kaisu and Calypso to this day, and you say who was some of the most prolific or some of the greatest, Kitchener, Sparrow, sometimes it left to be a debate. Until it's convenient that Shadow come with a hit and then they go mention Shadow. Or until an artist die and they go say, he was really good in Truth, boy. He was really, when he dead, when he was alive, they never gave him his flowers. I see it, you name them from Shadow to Brigo to Tambu to Andre Tanka to all of them. I had the chance to meet a lot of them and sit and talk with a lot of them. And a lot of them were disgusted with how the people treated them, and always put Kitchener and Sparrow in front. Now, I'm good sons with Kitchener. I'm a good friends with Kitchener's son. I'm good friends with Sparrow's son, Sancho. But I believe in truth. There were many others, but Kitchener and Sparrow ran the monopoly at that time. And the people who were doing the events and the fans who was following these events were fans of Sparrow and Kitchener who got caught up in the conundrum of it. They went with all kind of thing and this, that, and that was said and this was said and all kind of thing. And if you stood up for yourself back then, they would blacklist you. Shadow went through it many times.
Yeah.
He went through it many times. And when I listen to these people's story, I keep saying to myself, are promoters really knowledgeable of the power that they have? Do they really understand what it means to be a promoter? What is the purpose of a promoter? To make money by the door? You're wrong. You go to the back of the class. You have much more to learn. You are the person who is in the position to say, listen, give Mikey he play, give Captain he play, or give Nat and Special K, and give all of them they play to create a level playing field. Now, when you have people in this generation now, you know the purpose of brass. All you know what brass used to do for people? Brass is how me, Bungie, Maximus, all of we come. And the person who couldn't be on brass again come with something to topple brass and cripple it and got it out of the door and no one. All right, answer me this question. Every year, statistics, more than 5,000 songs just come out. Every single year. Why are we constantly listening to 20 songs, 25 songs all the time?
Speak it.
No, I don't want to, because now with this.
No, we're talking.
No. I'm going to say now it's going to start to snowball. In line with what you're saying, those 20 songs, the problem is, like we were saying earlier, the legacy of thought. Now, as a DJ, if I play number 21, everybody vex. What happens to my 1 to 20? I want 1 to. You're not a good DJ because you're not playing number 1 to 20. This is what we've taught people. We've come away from, you know what, this is a really good tune. Let me play this really good tune and have people respond to this really good.
I want to stop your pot now. I just know that. I want to stop your pot now. Coming back to the lady, she mentioned something to me. She said that when she looked at it, she keeps seeing a lot of things that just can't connect. However, her younger children who are much more Trini oriented, they want to hear why. Because Trinidad and Tobago, when I mean, let's be real, we talking truth. Yeah. When you talk about reggae, you talk about Jamaica. When you talk about Soka, you talk about Trinidad and by extension, the little islands, who have significant presentations.
Yeah, they have on the table. They gave you good liquid courage too.
Yeah,
we got Barbados,
right? But there's nothing wrong, and I say this without apology. There's nothing wrong with soca music. Soca music fantastic music. It's great music. How much history and homework we just do is a whole different topic. But then it have a nice set of people called Trinidadians and Tobagonians who gave us a perfect example of what not to do when your country running with a title. Because all the islands looked at Trinidad and they saw we had a beautiful carnival and we had great songs and Soka Monarch and this, that, and title and accolades and everything. But when you watch two Trinidadian, anywhere you go in the world other than Trinidad and Tobago, for some strange reason, they take great pride in pulling down one another. You go in a party, well, me go in a party. What you going in? If you go in a party, I've accepted you. If you think, and when the world sat and realized, but their music so nice. This culture so sweet, but why don't they fight one another and bad talking and gossiping? It's because we forefathers have been doing that. So if you think we could come and change that tomorrow,
No.
think again.
No. But that's the problem.
And that is why
That's the problem.
St. Vincent stepped up, Grenada stepped up, Antigua, all over stepped up. You know, back in the days, what's something that changed with Trinidad and never changed with Jamaica? Actually, two things. One is when Jamaicans put out music, they do ask John Holt, when was the last time he sang a song? No. They listening to catalog. They glad when they feature them. With we. When was the last time she sang something? You ain't sing that, no? So they will forget all the songs that you ever poured.
Yeah.
Barbados do not ask what Alison Hines sing.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't ask Beckett when was the last time he bring out a song. They don't ask these things. So we mindset, that was set, and we never broke that curse. If a Jamaican have a concert anywhere in the world, you must see artists from Jamaica flying. If it have a soca fete, you don't have to bring a Trini again. That's why Skinny Fabulous just eat up the food.
Oh, shucks.
Oh, wait, I ain't supposed to. Oh, shit.
Oh, shucks. Drink up, man.
You're
Drink
supposed
up.
to
Drink
call
up.
him.
Drink up.
But it's amazing to see how that is in business, because you see when we see each other in different places. So I'll give you an example. I'm in Tel Aviv doing a tour and I hear this man speak. And I said, but wait, he's a Trini? He said, yes. That evening, before we finished the tour, he done set up dinner with other Trinis living in Tel Aviv. And everybody connect, like there was just this instant connection as people. But yet on the business side, we're operating from a space of scarcity. Like there isn't enough to go around. And so I must take from you to get ahead. But for me too, when I look at the Trinidad I knew growing up, and I look at the Trinidad now, the piece that was kind of that tipping point for me was cable. When we introduced American cable, we went from getting to see a little snippet at night to watch the scary movies to full scale. I found as Trinis, we tried to be more American than the Americans. What went away was that sense of community in the little dead end road where my grandmother lived. You couldn't go hungry.
Yeah.
If you didn't
your neighbor
have
sending food.
somebody sending food, you need shoes for your child, you need clothes for you. We had.
You want to know something funny? I come from where you're talking about. You see, when I started to live in Tong, I had to change that mindset. Tong will come and sit down by you. No, listen. Not everybody, not everybody terrible. Let me make that clear. But we have to highlight the things that is people do address. If somebody, that is truth. That is truth. When something fall along, that is truth. And when I know, can myself be the table. I'm ready to go. The podcast done. The podcast done.
I get put up.
Look, the podcast done here now.
Table.
Thank you.
But I glad that you throw it.
The energy came out.
No.
As soon as he's South man, watch me.
No, I will tell you something.
You know what though? Energetically,
Two hands up.
Hey, two hands.
that energy though showed what goes on just by saying the town and country.
Yes.
That is the mentality.
Let me tell
So
you
we're
something.
engaging with the energy
If you,
right now.
of course, if you go in tongue, and when I say tongue, we're not judging, we're not criticizing, but it's facts. And you go around this generation in tongue, and you have 4 different fruits here. They will eat out all your fruits and leave. No one will leave back a fruit for you and your family. And that is just the mindset of how we live in now. We became a greedy people. They used to say God is a Trinity. God is not Trinity again. God pack up eating and don't move out of Trinidad. It's a serious thing. It's like we laughing. But it's a serious thing.
Yeah.
And it's going to take a lot to really change that. We have at least 7 to 8 generations that go and feel the pain coming up in China because of what was set before you. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's not going to change. It's not going to change. All right, you want to know what's heartbreaking for me?
What?
They give every genre of music a play. Every genre. Every genre. And Soka still waiting and ain't bust the way it's supposed to bust and have an effect on the world yet. Down to Afro come with some of we essence.
Of course.
Why I think Afro just play in Soka felt so easy? Because it's rhythmic.
It is
You could remember when Africans used to try to do reggae and song Jamaica. Oh God, all you come now, don't make me as a DJ with a lot of history. Don't make me come and tell all the history.
Yeah.
Afrobeat is groovy.
And when people realize, especially in England and these foreign countries, because a lot, I don't know why. Sometimes I just feel like I will ship it. Here why? If I could sit down as a man who not too bright and see, okay, England, how much million? Canada, how much million? This one, how much million? Trinidad, land we love, 1.3 million, which is really 3 point something million. Why we don't take this thing and instead of everybody looked at focus on this side, and we didn't take it and focus on this side. Like it's such easy maths. But then you have to ask yourself who are around the table that making the decisions.
Yeah.
Who have the input?
We're not there.
Who could really stand up and say, hey, listen. All right, guys, I hate to tell you this. I am a Marshall fan too, but if Marshall had to take Soka on the next level, he would have done it already. I hate to tell you this, right? Sorry.
Well, it was on Grey's Anatomy. No, that was Bungie on Grey's
it was
Anatomy.
Open
Bungie.
up the gate.
Yeah.
That's it.
Get out of the way.
You could take the best footballer in the world. When you put take a good footballer and put him with a good team, he will score real goals and the team will perform. If you take that one player by himself and put him up against the shittiest football team with children, the children will beat him up. That is common sense.
But how much of it is ego? Is it ego that gets in the way in terms of it doesn't allow for somebody to say, I'm here to help you all come through and to create those opportunities and open the door so that more can come through. But as I say that, I know Special K, you had 2 hands up. You had 2 hands up. I don't want to forget your 2 hands.
I don't even know where to start anymore.
Start, please.
From the beginning, in the beginning,
I think you had a lot of awesome points that I think we just kind of we need to kind of reel back a little bit just to focus a little bit more on certain segments. I'll probably start with the parents. So the Caribbean is changing because, as Michelle said, the introduction of the different technologies is going to change. But does it necessarily mean what the culture means to us has to also change? And I think that's where the gap is right now, is how do we bring in the outside influence, but also keep some of the traditions and build new tradition? And how do they blend? What does that picture looks like? So you're correct that, like, when I went to Jamaica a couple of years ago, I went to where I grew up. And as I was telling Michael at the time, I felt like I was walking into a poll stamp. Nothing looked like it had changed. But some of the people and the young kids had changed because we weren't seeing as much of the kids working on the farm because they went to the city, they went abroad. And so we saw a lot of the elders are working the farm, and it's kind of going, where are the young kids? You know, their face are in the technology, in the iPad and the iPhone. So I could definitely see that portion of the culture no longer there when, like, I was a kid, and I didn't expect it to be the same. But I think that we are lacking that merge. How do we merge, come together, and still have both aspects of it as one? When we come to Canada, Michelle, you were very fortunate to have parents that kept the Trinidad culture, because I'm sure you grew up in Ottawa feeling like you were in Trinidad in your house. Mm-hmm. They had the cooking, they had the music, they took you out, similar to what you're doing with your girls right now.
But not necessarily. Like, I fought it tooth and nail. My mother had to make 2 different sets of food. She'd make Kraft dinner for me and stewed chicken with beans and rice for my father. Oh. And my brothers would take that. Like, for me,
good.
But that's okay.
Mine wouldn't cook too
That's okay because she cooked it.
But that's what I was saying. It was still present.
Yeah.
So you could still see it, you could still smell it, you could still hear it. It was present in your life. There's people where it's non-existent. They let it go.
So you are raising your kids in that footstep. Mm-hmm. And I think that is what's also missing today. Mm-hmm. It's that you have families who are now 2nd and 3rd generation Canadians. And along the way, they're losing that essence of the culture. Now, for us, why I feel Caribbean flavor is so important is that we try to bring a bit of that music for them to at least hear through, right? A couple years ago, we had a friend, for example, we were making corned beef and rice for the kids.
Oh, that's nice. Huh?
And the friends looked at us at the time and says, that's poor people Caribbean food. And I said, no, it's not. It's food. Because I was in Toronto a couple years prior and paid $25 for corned beef and rice in a restaurant. Why is this a poor people Caribbean food? And I would never let my kids eat that in Canada. And I think that is the mentality that's a part of the issue. And because you have parents that are like that, they're not cooking. They're no longer going, Sundays, it's dinner at the table. We're no longer doing that. We're no longer changing the curtains at Christmas. The things that was the Caribbean and I'm not saying it was the best way of culture, but that's what we grew up with. You don't see that anymore. And I know in Ottawa, we to some degree had depend on the different Caribbean association, but as COVID happened and a lot of that disappeared and is now trying to rebuild, they're not getting the support as well. And I think that's kind of where we need to work on to say, hey, I want to raise my kids in Canada. I want to be in Canada, but I also don't want to forget my culture. I don't want, more importantly, my kids to forget their culture. How do we bridge this? And that's the first question in terms of that culture changing and how do we think? The next thing I kind of wanted to talk so the music, the DJs are playing that 20 songs. Because I think a lot of DJs are afraid to go outside of the box. As Michael said, play number song 21. You as a DJ has so much power on that dance floor.
Facts.
I have seen DJs of the past, without calling any names, take a song that nobody knew
And mash up.
and says to the crowd, I'm going to play this song and I want to see Uno in the middle dance. We're dancing to it. And the hype that they brought in and seeing people, I'm like, where did this song? Let me go look up what this song is.
That's an old song.
And that is a part of the job of the DJ. right? If the DJ say the song is going to be a hit, it can be a hit. But I find today they are afraid to go outside of that box. How do we change that perspective?
Right.
Right. And how do we teach the young DJ? Yes, as much as music is like, it's like this. Nobody, we're no longer driving to New York to get the newest songs. I remember those days, going to Toronto to go to Bad Lad Record to buy the new Marshall album coming out, going to New York to get stuff. It's right like this. But I don't think the responsibility is also here as well. Those are the things that we need to kind of work on and kind of get, how do we fix that?
Right.
Right?
It's easy. Stop booking your friends. Stop booking your friends. Book people who could actually come and do the job.
But it also comes back to what you were talking about before. Like, is there a mafia? Is there a group controlling? Like, when we look at...
Okay, wait. Hold on.
Pause for a second.
The thing start.
Hold on. No, I don't want to lose my train of thought.
You're making me lose my...
No, because of... Oh, no.
Okay,
if
go.
you want to keep going,
No,
you can
go.
go.
Okay, go.
No, because of what you were saying.
Go ahead.
Me and Wisdom had talked about this. How...
Thank you for saying wisdom.
Yeah, man.
Because everyone did the
Right,
government
right.
name they call it.
Right.
Wisdom. Thank you.
How the relationship with music now is not the same as it was when we was coming up.
Yeah.
So, you know how you say that the DJ could make the song? Well, if the people was in to just enjoy themselves,
Yes.
it doesn't matter what the DJ's playing.
Yeah.
If I go to... When we go Juve,
Facts.
I couldn't tell you what music was playing.
Yeah, you was
I was
enjoying
just to
yourself.
have a
Yeah, it
time.
was having fun.
If I'm sitting back going, what is he playing?
Yeah.
I never, when growing up, I never remember going anywhere and saying, what is DJ, what is this? I'm going to enjoy myself.
going to-
I'm
oh,
a drink.
that good
and
point, yeah.
the music is playing, like how you get in the accident. The music was playing and you're in it.
Yeah.
But if you're standing back, waiting to
Critique.
what's playing, then you're not there to enjoy yourself.
But not only
And that's
that,
how we were talking about how the relationship is different with music now.
Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. Yesterday in the green room, we had touched on this, and I'm going to say it now so that it is in.
you sure you want to say this?
Yes, I'm going to say it
Right.
now. A promoter promotes and a DJ plays music. It's the promoter's job to put the right people inside of an event
Yes.
and create an energy or an environment of what the night is going to be.
Facts.
And then he hires people who can play music.
Who's competent
who is
enough?
competent enough to play the music to support that environment.
And the people too, they and all need to change the mindset. Everybody now just go to a party. Doors open 10, it locking off 2. You reaching party 12:30 or 1 o'clock to get the last hour.
Yeah.
But when you reach you expect to get, come on.
But that's also a cultural thing, is it not?
Well, it
Because
used to
that's
be.
been going on forever.
I'll give you a joke. If you ask typical people in Trinidad, having a fete in Mayaro, you're coming so far, oh God, you're having it so far. Let tribe only say we're doing tribe in Mayaro. Watch me. They say it have a cooler fete from 3 to 9. Tribe say it. People, they 2:30 in the car drinking, getting ready to go inside. And from the time they say, hey,
Gates open.
when tribe say the gate open 3 o'clock, and at 4:30, no more coolers inside, or you have to pay $150. Listen to me. People in the car waiting. By the time the door open, you see everybody line up. They're going inside. They done buzz already.
They were lined up at least a good hour and a half before the gate opened.
Yeah.
They weren't waiting in the
So
car.
again, it's a mindset, it's a mentality. I talking to people here. I was talking. We in the same agreement. We was talking about Ottawa Carnival, and prior to that, I was talking about Montreal Carnival. Now watch out something. Watch out something, right? All right? You have 2 set of people that could take charge of something like that. The people and them who strictly on making money. Who don't care about not more the culture and they want to make the money, but all is still to blame. And when I say all, I mean you, I mean me, I mean he, I mean she, because we allowed it to happen. We allowed it to happen. If we stick together, listen, the people much stronger than you think, you know?
Yes, sir.
If the people say, hey, no, we're going and follow so, but you have to be seen. This is why people who just get tied up with the new age style of marketing, I just laugh. Because it come like every 10 steps you make forward, we make about 30 steps backward. Here why. Did you know that billboards are still effective? But when you ask people now, nah, me spending money on flyer, people they pelt with flyer, they pelt with this, that whole thing I going on Instagram. I booking this artist. Hey, for those of you listening to this podcast, listen to this, right? The artist does not make the event. I know people who book Marshall and book Top Acts and Boss. The artist is the icing to the cake. But the party, you can't tell me you can't tell me Mikey having a party. You can't tell me Mikey have a party and Mikey depending on Marshall to ram his numbers. No, people come in the event because it's Mikey party. And Mikey bringing Marshall on board. What? Well, make it even nicer. But never make the party be about a particular DJ or artist just so and Paula power. So what will happen if the artist or DJ fall out with you? What carry on?
I think what's missing is that the promoters are not creating intentions of what is the energy for the atmosphere. And like you said at the beginning, promoters are focused on the money. Yet, if we understand energy, money is a currency.
So anybody could bring a shit. So anybody could bring a shit on and put in a party for all you to listen to, and all you go take it and smile and walk away saying, "No, let your voice be heard." If the DJ come and hear up to standard, say, "Boo! Get upstairs! Boo!"
That's why they start serving Heineken.
We're not taking that. Understand what I'm saying? No, if you sit down and you very displeased and you hear him play a certain shit and you, but Mikey, God, why you playing so? Only we hearing that. That is we circle. Only we hearing that. You are at the party and it. People get loud. Be vocal. When you vocal, no, listen, I ain't telling you about bonfire and troop. I ain't telling you to do that. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm saying, put it out there, and if need be, do the event for yourself. Team up with people that all you could bring in all the city to make all the city look good. Because I'll be honest, before I come to Ottawa, I hear boy out there, but they say Ottawa don't have no vibe, it's lame, it this, that, but I hearing it from one end and I know what I mean. So I laugh and I say, hey, here what man, Blaine, I was coming in Sunday. I said I want to come in before that. Line up some interviews for me. Just what I said to him, I said line up some interviews. Because one, I ain't radio for quite some time, and two, I want to break that curse for them certainly because I know them is shit. Excuse me. And if I get my vex, I go call him and all they do is stick chain up easy.
But you cannot drink, yeah, man.
I stick chain up easy. No, but on a serious note, these are the things that all you have to change because at the end of the day, yes, it have DJs, yes, it have artists, yes, it have promoters, but there's also the people. All you have to be happy in all your own home too, you know. That's important, you know. And all you have the right to say no or yes. Oh, well done. Or try better. You understand? Now, it's one thing to criticize and you ain't doing nothing. So, all you make sure that when you step up to the table, you have things that you're offering when you step up to the table as well. Hey, boss, you have a party, we see you trying. Give me some tickets to sell. We little committee have a little 40 people, 50 people just follow. We come in with a big flag. We go tell other people. We go be able to do this. Hey, look, Mikey on the radio. Don't go and ask Mikey to do it for you for free. He on radio, but Mikey go treat you nice with a 2 package. Mikey, how much you take a package by you to advertise? Talk to me. Well, this is the price, but when you take it, I will be able to do it. And that's how the thing does work. That's how
it should work.
That's how it should work.
The collaboration is very challenging in this city for some reason.
So hold on, so you think it's different than Montreal and Toronto?
No, I understand that. Yet Ottawa, when people talk about the different Shilohs that we have here, I don't understand where I know some people have tried, yet the power that this city has, if the people would grow and come together, it would be a totally different thing. Yet everybody is amongst of having this association, that association, that association, rather than where are we going as a collective?
I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
And as a matter of fact, I'm asking all of you because I'm ready to take off my belt and get all of your belt. All of you. Yes, just like that. Yes.
Getting lashes.
Listen to this. How much committees all you are around? How much committees? From here go straight back around. What committee you are around? You're around the Caribbean Association. You're around the committee who just go to ask the government for funding around carnival time. You're around the Toronto Montreal organization to where all you could say, hey, listen, we need things to be coming into here as well. When they're running it so, we need it. And here is the nice thing about Ottawa. Ottawa is an hour and a half from Montreal. Montreal is an hour and a half from here. So all you...
Excuse me, sir. 2 hours.
2 hours.
2 hours.
Okay.
We're not trying to encourage stealing here.
Right.
So.
Sorry, 2.5 hours.
Thank you.
2.5
Because
hours.
we pause into pee.
2.5 hours. So that means Montreal could party with Ottawa, and Ottawa could party with Montreal. That would mean. What's up, nice?
Oh, you say it.
And in all honesty, it used to be similar to that back in the day.
So people used to come party here.
Instead of when it's class.
So something has changed over the years, and
You know me as a patron,
Yes.
what I don't like seeing?
What?
That there's 7 DJs that are supposed to play in 3 hours. And then you know what happens behind there? The DJs all want to perform at a certain time.
That's when
Nobody wants warm
the
up.
one tune playing 6 times.
Exactly. The
Yeah.
same song
That
played
is
over.
why all you have to start to get more involved. Now, what can you do to make people come out? Well, let me give you a few things from a Duncy Bat. You know, it's a Duncy Bat? A Duncy Bat is somebody who into bright. That's me, right? Let me tell you where it is.
No,
You
for
serve
two-
free
for
food,
for
free
two
payload,
Duncy Bat
free
orders,
doubles.
smart, you know.
Free payload, free doubles from 3 to 4. The party start 3 and go until 8. From 3 to about half 4, 5. Free doubles and payload. People like the belly. They come in. Here is our next thing. Who does offer to give back? I've been saying this since yesterday. Most people don't give back, you know. Everybody is want to get. Nobody don't want to give back.
It sounds like a book.
Yeah.
Nobody don't want to give back.
Yeah.
Implement these things. All right. Everybody just think that a committee supposed to be 5 people. Are you mad? 5 people on a committee? Hold on. So all you want to sell 600 tickets among 5 people. But your committee must have at least 200 people, 250 people, and each one of them working to sell 5 tickets. And when they sell their 5 tickets, they get them plus 1 a come. That 2 comes. So how much people in your party when they sell them 5 tickets? How much? That's easy maths.
Yeah.
How much is that special cake?
A lot.
200 people selling 5 tickets is how much? Calculate it for me, please. My dear.
1,000 people.
1,000 people. You think that they will go sell 4 or 5 tickets to collect?
Organization of an events. What about the patrons? The patrons are making it difficult also for the DJs and the promoters.
Oh,
They're not coming out.
no, don't say that.
but you have to find ways to get them to come out.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, you guys just said if I don't play the 20 songs that they want, they're complaining.
Yeah.
So how are we going to engage them to
So hold on.
So it's a
expand?
matter of how to play the 20 songs, but in between the 20
Intersperse.
songs.
Beautiful.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying I'm being the devil's advocate of, okay, you're speaking on one side as patrons also. We have our part too.
I tell you what, you see the same 20 songs for Special K now come and play? I come and play it too, you know. If I really want to run with the I do it. I'm not playing it in the same order and I'm putting some songs in the middle like. That is it. So I'm still doing the same thing.
But I think part of what you're talking about is like, I sit there and I think about, oh, so and so's playing. I know I'm gonna hear these songs in this order because they play it the same way all the
mixtape.
time. So why am I bothering?
The
I already heard it, and it doesn't really, unless there's like something about another DJ on the list. That whole DJ, that whole promoter can sour my whole experience to say I'm not coming out.
And my hard-earned money.
So I think
Yeah.
overall the system has to change. So the promoter has to promote, the DJ has to play the music, learn the music,
And repost your flyer and bring out a mixtape like long time.
right? The people need to come out, and when you come, be ready to be engaged.
Be ready to
Now,
Yeah,
how
that-
can I get
that's what I
you
mean.
engaged? The DJ need to look up. and look
Oh
at
my
the
gosh.
audience in front of them.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Carnival Tuesday on the road.
Figure out
No,
how
Carnival
to
Monday.
engage, because it's half and half. I can come with my energy, but if you're the DJ playing the music, and yes, I'm looking at you because that's what I'm looking at you to help me, give me the other part of the vibe.
And your
I
head
need.
down in the laptop.
Your head is down.
Listen.
You're not even rocking to your own music that you're playing.
That
Just
is why.
focus
All
on
right,
it.
so let me give you your next belt. I want to take a special key this belt now. That is why you just book DJs and not people who looking for a side hustle, and DJing is one of their side hustles to make it show. Talk to me.
A professional.
Talk to
So
me.
I think everything needs to change.
Yes.
It's not just one aspect of it.
All
And
right.
I think then the people will come out and then the people will support. And I know Ottawa is hard because Ottawa is known as the government city. So it makes it a little bit
Prim and
hard because
proper.
you're right in between the Toronto and Montreal. And similar to what you were saying in Trinidad, yes, we have a lot of people that will drive to Toronto to go to a party, not even a concert, to a party. And people will drive to Montreal to go to a party. But when you have something in Ottawa, the same people going to tell me, say, I'm too tired. Oh, I was in Toronto last weekend, man. This weekend we're going to stay home.
So
But
what
you went to
can
Toronto
change
to listen to a DJ play.
So what can change it? Let's find the solution. If I want to go to a party and you just having a regular party, I'm not gonna go. But if you make it, if it are the wow factors, and I could sit down and I could what's my right, so in marketing, because we do events too. When we sit to do events or we sit to deal with projects, we just sit down to get the wow factors. A wow factor is something that could be simple, you know. If,
Doesn't have to be,
you know if I buy 100 lottery ticket quick pick, that a quick pick here, I'm gonna say someone about $3, $2.
Depends.
How much?
Depends.
How much?
Isn't it $5?
Yeah,
$5. 5 multiplied by 100.
yeah, you gotta do
I go in and buy some quick picks and I put it on my flyer. Somebody get a chance to walk away with 25 million. You don't know is my marketing tactic. You go in and study that, and this place like money. So you go in and come not even understand. And in night I just give out the first 100 people 100 quick picks. I ain't lie to you. Did I lie to you?
No.
But your perception
And it's an excitement you're building up.
is a whole different thing. If I say free food, ladies, the first 100 ladies roses. And for a Rocha chocolate bags, you come in. If I say, hey, this month, one lucky person and I really serious and I can get 5 sponsors, $5,000 cash for one lucky person, you think they ain't coming? I want to find the solution.
So let me ask you a question. How come the fellas don't get nothing? Are you serious?
The
or no?
fellas could get Johnny swing a bottle
No,
of
but
Hennessy. or
anytime
something.
you see something,
It's
it's
always around the women.
women come to get this.
No,
women come to get
no,
it.
because remember, fellas, all right, fellas.
I know we just follow the woman.
No, exactly.
That's the whole rule.
Let me tell you something about fellas. Fellas like a peacock show.
But let me ask you something. Woman don't follow man?
Yeah, but. And no, that's a good point, you know.
Ask
No,
you a
it's
question.
true. Men,
It's a very
men
good
get
point.
left out.
Because I've been to fets already. Oh God.
Thank you.
You see?
Uh-oh.
No.
Oh, she stand up?
Yeah, makes sense. No.
This is what I've been telling him since he came.
Yeah.
But he circles it around.
Oh, you're not open to truth?
Oh, see, I'm just You're kind of wonky, you know.
Remember,
I
you came to open it up now.
The shame. No, but watch this, right? You know, I've been to events where men walking up to women. Baby, let me buy a drink. Oh, excuse me? No. What you drinking? Come. And them buying bottles. So you're right. It have women just buy your drinks.
You say bottle, not drink.
Bottle too. Yeah, it have it.
But these women,
Hey,
She
hey,
goes,
When you walk in with your wife.
hey, it even have women will buy tickets faster than men.
Yes,
But
sir.
here what men does do. We like peacock show. We will spend the money that we have to impress women.
Yes.
From the beginning of time.
Yeah.
So once if you walk in a dance and you see 20 women, 80 man, you looking at do say, hey, partner, not me. They're not my kind of party. I looking at go. But you know, if you're walking up in a party and it have 40 men, 100 women, you go in and look to buy out bar, you're going to look at thing, you're going to look to talk about the perfume you spray on. it's just the nature. No, you must, to everything there's balance. To everything there's balance. Once you have good music, you have a party that promoted well. You have a party, and when I say promoted well, not with 5 people like I say. The more people buzzing about your party, the more people under your committee, the more subcommittees you have is always best. Right? So it have to have balance. And once you have that balance, you'll be surprised, you will start seeing different results.
Yeah.
But who is the balance? Because when I ask Kay to bring his son, I don't party with children, you know, them bringing a whole different market, and it's better them party with you.
Yeah.
And when you try to bring your niece and you ain't want to party with them, so how we expect the thing to grow?
Right.
We have to let the thing grow. Back in the days, we used to party with we uncle and aunt and them, we mother and them. We used to go.
I remember the first party I went to in Toronto with my Dawg E Wisdom dad, and they were women with strollers.
Yeah.
And this was a huge fete. Like Buddy was there, Marshall was there, name it. They were there, and it was just an amazing thing to see. I was like,
Party with the children.
right, and I'm sure those
Party
kids
with your
grew up.
family. They will grow up liking it. Yes, that is the solution. Now, when you watch everybody, like everybody think they're secret. No, party with one another. Have fun again. When's the last time you went to a party and you leave the party wet? When? No.
Well, it'll be tonight.
Leave the party wet. Hey, take your phone.
Well, I did last week. I did last week. In all honesty,
What
the
was it?
DJ music was sweet.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
Yes,
Man,
yes.
when I put it down to cook it.
Leave your
Get
phone.
myself in
Leave
trouble.
your phone
But
in your car or in the glove compartment. Come the party,
That
and
would
when
be
you
beautiful.
reach, start a thing. All right, everybody's be on social media. Start a network your friends. WhatsApp your friends. Hey, girl, look at have a party going on tonight. You know we going in. Girl, we see. That's a guy. Right?
Because-
Let me go. Bring them out.
Because-
Somebody has to start the fire.
that's the other element as well. For me, I will stand to the side once I see people camera going up because I don't want to get caught on the social media.
Yeah.
You know, so that's another part as well that is now in the equation as well.
Go and tell the engineer. Tell Mikey to tell him I was going to do my favor. We come to enjoy yourself and I really want nothing. I want my wife to enjoy herself. Let she think. Yeah.
Who made jam it?
That's what I'm thinking about. Jamming signals.
Yeah.
Jamming signals so they can't use the phone.
A quick question for the panel though. When was the last time you heard of a party that you went out to get your hair done, get an outfit to wear to the party? Because you're so excited for that event.
That is always happening.
And I'm always curious today if people still do that. Because back in the day, I used to remember you were catching a female going out to that fete unless she went to get her hair done, her nails, her outfit ready.
I wasn't that girl.
See, and I wasn't.
But I
really-
have, like, I wasn't
But you
that
went with
girl.
Lisa.
But I had friends that would do
yeah.
all of that. I would go get shoes and an outfit, the hair and the nails and all that.
You were
But it
excited
is
so
true.
that you
Of
wanted to
course.
go and get
Of course.
something different.
Of course.
When last
And
men
that's-
iron their clothes.
Yes.
Go out.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
I
know.
would say the last
But
time I got an outfit was for something, but it was like, it was not a fete. It was something for work. It was, a social event. And it's like, I want to show up in that space and I want to
Feel good.
represent and feel good.
We need to bring back. we need
These
to bring
parties
back-
are therapy. That's basically what you're doing, and you're releasing and freeing up yourself, that whatever is the heaviness, that you're able to shift that perception. Yet I'm mindful of time right now. So I want to come around the circle because, yes, we brought out some points, yet if we want change, what are the solutions? So each person come up with what do they see as a
I
solution
want to start.
Solution 4.
of how we bring the change. What do we bring back? And also not just bring back, what's the innovation?
Especially if you have one more thing she wanted to say.
Yeah,
And then-
before you wrapped up, because you break my thought process earlier. I just wanted to kind of quickly go back
She was
a little,
pointing at you.
a little bit back to the music, because when you're talking about the creation of the music and that 20 people, another thing. I mean, we won't be able to address it today, but I think another thing in order that we need to talk about as well is the quality of the soca music that is being put out today. So yes, sadly, you have the 20 songs, you have the handful of artists that are producing good quality music. But even though there's 5,000 songs across the Caribbean that come out every year, do you know how difficult it is to find 200 songs that are clean and is radio playable?
Oh God, that's
And that to me is a huge
Special
issue.
K. No.
You might have to go keep
No Special K. I'm not taking that. Give me anything else. I'm not.
So perhaps that's for another podcast.
No, I want to talk
Because
about
it
that.
is so,
No.
that is so
I want to talk about that now. I
You
want to
can't talk about it now.
Yes.
We'll talk about it offline.
I'm
But
supposed to
because you
run to
touched on-
Montreal. I'm not going to even run because of that way. Let me tell you why I'm not going on. Because for dancehall, this new steamer dancehall and Trinidad music, people don't even listen to radio to know these songs. You know. They just go and type it up and find it, and play it, and then radio just do so. Who's that they playing there? Oh, Daddy Big Two. Oh, right. And then radio just go and get. The people have the power. Go and do all your homework.
Because there's a lot of songs that are coming out that does not have clean version to the song.
You
There's a
think them
lot-
Trinidad and Jamaican songs that come out now clean?
Listen, but I'm not playing.
No.
I'm not playing dancehall.
No, I'm not saying you. But if you really want to get somebody who have Pro Tools and get it and play it.
But why her as a DJ has to do that? Why are the artists not offering the two?
That is the wrong mindset and wrong approach.
How come?
And
That's
Well, I want to hear that. Why?
Why?
If you want to play something, you go get it and edit it and play it.
why?
It's your
I'm
package.
promoting you as a singer.
You're gonna tell me I'm gonna go into your store. Wait,
you
wait,
know
wait.
how much songs I get that I clean up, and when I clean up, men hear me play it.
Yeah, all the time.
You know what songs?
No, I
take it upon
understand
myself, and when I take it, I just even be so nice after cussing them in my mind, of course, because when they ask me, I'll say, I went and edited it for myself, so you could do the same thing. But anyway, here, look. Because I understand the major goal. The major goal is to get the music across. No, I could do like everybody else. And say, well, me doing it and me taking, but I would just be adding to the problem.
Yeah, where's the accountability of the person that's putting out
But
something?
it's third world people we dealing with. Talk about that.
Are you not? Wait, where are you coming from?
No, I come from the same, but not everybody
why-
comes
why
from the
you-
same cloth. And everybody what
But how do we grow it?
Hey, again, this is something that's going to take years
Yeah, that's the start.
to build. And when you build it and when you get it done, then they wouldn't give you the credit. So be ready.
So I will tell you, exactly how you said it is exactly how I am. I get them, I clean them.
Give me 5.
But the difference between me and you,
Yeah.
you cuss them in your mind, I just cuss them out loud.
Yeah.
And I tell them when I send it back for them. I say, yo, your engineer could do this in 30 seconds. It takes me
Yeah.
5 minutes. Why am I doing the work for free
Yes.
when you could have paid the engineer a little $10
Yeah.
and clean up the tune and it's a done deal.
No, well, all right, in all
you
honesty, because
guys-
you're honest, I'm not going to be honest. Make sure and edit this off the... don't say that.
We stand in our
Nah, don't
truths.
say this on the podcast.
Well, do you want me to pause?
I don't want you to pause.
Well, I can't. I may not.
No, when you're done, just edit the last part. Just edit it, right? I just charge men when I send it. I think that's stupid. I go do all that work as a fool or what? My mother shit me up.
However, the difference here is that you both are DJs.
You too.
I'm radio.
No, you're a DJ.
What I mean?
No,
You're a
DJ.
DJ.
Me up.
However, the difference here is that you both are DJs.
You too.
I'm radio.
No, you're a DJ.
What I mean?
No,
You're a
DJ.
DJ.
Don't do me that now. Don't do me that.
Don't do that.
Especially
Why are you
don't do me that.
limiting yourself?
No.
Don't do me that,
No.
especially.
No, I'm not even gonna. No.
Nice.
No.
Thank you. Nice.
That's
Don't do me
limiting
that.
yourself.
Don't do me that.
No.
Stand up straight.
No.
Stand up straight. Don't do me
It's
that.
in-
Shoulders
Integrity.
back, chin out.
You graduate long time now. No.
All I'm saying is.
Don't do me that.
Okay, I won't gonna do that. However,
Right.
Because I have had issues with soca music for a while. I love soca music, but I also think that the artist also has a responsibility to what they've put out there. because the music has shifted, and necessarily not always in a positive way. So when you had Sparrow, Kitchener, Shadow, Calypso Rose, all of the older guys
Right.
and females, when they came up with a song, the play on words were more creative. I got the message, but it was more creative. So I could let my 5-year-old listen to Spring Garden without them actually knowing, right?
Until Soulfish.
But today,
by Sparrow.
Today they're coming out with stuff which are direct, explicit, that I cannot play for my 5-year-old because it's so explicit. And I find the music is going down that road. Whether that there is a change that needs to another shift. So when Lord Shorty did the shift, is there another one that is due?
Mm-hmm.
Do we categorize explicit soca songs under the umbrella as soca bashment? And then you have a room for soca music the way it was meant.
That special K, I might look like a zebra. You could paint me as well, but don't sell me as well. Because you can't get girl flicks, time to have sex, and you can't get and push it in the thing. And you can't, don't do matter. Don't do matter. We still find a way to edit it. We still find a way to put it up. We still find a way to think.
So here's what I would say to kind of bridge the gap.
I'm glad your husband saying
two worlds. I feel you can have those tunes.
Thank you.
I feel you can have the tunes that you want. My problem is when you create that tune and then watch me and say, how come you ain't play it on the radio? If you want it played on the radio, present it in a form and fashion.
But that's
that
what I was saying earlier.
No, you said that the creation of it. Let it be created. It has a place.
But give me a clean version. Without me.
Some of those songs can't be clean versions.
Yeah.
There is an instrumental with beeps.
Like, honestly, it's just the instrumental that they want the beat because you can't put the lyrics. Some of this stuff, like, where I'm like listening and I'm like, people are singing this and I'm like,
We have to have a drink here because we can't take it to do when we go in. So we have to have it there. Cheers.
All I'm trying to say is that overall, we also have to look
That water. Okay.
at the evolution of where the music is going, and is that where we want it to go? Do we still have control over where it is naturally going right now, or do we need to have another?
We need branches.
Right.
that's a difficult thing because that's creativity and that's freedom
You are
of
correct with
creativity.
everything that you are saying. You know. You are saying it now at this age as special key. But you remember the music we used to listen to back then? We parents used to say it's rubbish and it's dirty, isn't it?
Slack.
You could remember that? Right. So it's just a different page with now. And we will say the same thing. We children will say the same thing in time to come. So the problem, if we take time to dwell on it, understand everything you're saying, you have very valid points. Nothing is invalid. But it's either we could play it or we don't play it. Don't make me reach in a party and play the Young Brother and Gabi before you, because I'm going to mash up the place more than you, because that's when you're trending song.
Don't worry, may have the cat rhythm already. So let me go now. Yo.
You see? No, but understand what I'm saying. But understand what I'm saying. We have to always be 10 steps ahead with the solution. And the solution, until better could be done, is that we grab it, edit it, share it amongst ourselves, pass it over, and take. When we get chance to sit with the artists now, if we ever have the chance to reason with them, we say, boss, hear what happened? The same song is singing, my daughter can't listen to it. I like it. Yeah. My daughter can't listen to it. So I can't play it around my children. And then it already kiddies carnival I just playing, so I just can't play a song. So when you get a chance, send me some children friendly thing. Or make some children friendly music. Because remember, you don't know artist journey too. You might go to tell you that and you might offend them.
But you know what? Not all DJs are having that mindset because some of them are now playing it around the children and they're making it that
so
it's
that's
okay.
that's a whole other, yes.
Honestly.
It would be
Very
here till
true.
6 o'clock.
Very true.
Yeah.
It's a very big topic.
It's that in
very
itself
big
is
topic
another
in
thing of
itself.
where are we understanding the boundaries and the freedom of speech and freedom of expression and creativity. Yet now it's going in a space where it's like, whoa. Yet I'm going to come back again. Circle
I love it.
The table.
I love it.
If we can all give a piece of a solution that we see moving forward that would help contribute to bring us back into village, into community, into collaboration?
I think definitely something that has worked for me over the many years that I've been in this is workshops. You could never have too many workshops. Workshops is work real good. It is make people get more involved culturally. It will educate them. It will show you. I did see a simple thing like this here with our podcast there. Could you imagine this room with 40, 50 people?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Could you imagine this?
Mm-hmm.
And then let grow in numbers, invite people to come more things. People like to feel when they are part of something. You may think that they might not. All you have to do is just invite them, touch them. Hi, good day. Look, we have something happening here, a cultural workshop. Come and be a part of it, man. Come and, how you say, they may be reluctant at first, but once they realize there's something good, they will be a part of it. When you do, would you like to know? Fun fact. You know who was part of Barbarossa and poison and thing? The parents of the people who now govern all the bands in Trinidad and Tobago. So when their parents was going to Poison and Barbarossa, the children who are now tribe and bliss and all them was going playing mass with mommy and daddy. You see what I'm showing you, right?
The evolution.
All right. I want to touch on next thing that's very important. Have any one of you in this room reached out to anybody in Toronto who just do mass or bands or anybody in Montreal and say, hey, let's collaborate, let's do something? Any one of you guys, forget everybody else, in this room,
Yes.
ever reach out to anyone?
Yes.
What was the response? What was the outcome?
The outcome at that time, the person was stepping back from it. So we have not re-engaged since there is now.
How much years that was?
It was before the fall apart, before my children.
How much years is that?
7
Right.
years.
7 years.
Well, let's also consider COVID really destroyed a lot of things.
COVID destroyed a lot. However, when you had to pay your bills, you couldn't go to electric or gas and tell them COVID. Life have to move on.
We still had to pay.
So we have to understand what is important in moving forward.
Yeah.
And that is the truth. That the most I can do is tell you the truth, because I wouldn't sit here and mama guy nobody
Of
or lie
course.
to anybody. You understand? It can be done. It's going to, I'm not going to say that it's going to be easy and can get it done in a snap of a finger. It's going to require a lot of work, but let's work smart and not just hard alone. Working hard too. We want to work smart. We alone can get it done. This is something that is great as as the initiation. After this, we have to see this grow from these numbers to 20, and then from this to 80, and then this to 100, and then we could safely say, yeah, progress.
But we have to make sure when we bring in the additional numbers that we bring the youths in.
Yes.
100%.
Because we talking about, growing it and how we make it. We have to listen to them when they talk. And don't say,
Good point.
right? We have to listen what they want. We could
Very
do for
good
us.
Very good point.
They could tell us every year. Hey,
Very good point.
the little ones you see downstairs, you see yesterday, playing mass since they 1 year old.
Bring them.
My oldest daughter playing mass with me now. And every year she bring more and more friends.
Marissa was telling me something the
More
other
and
day.
more friends.
Marissa was telling me something the other day. I could belt myself because I just belt myself too. She said, why don't focus on kiddies things too?
Yeah.
Because the children, them listen, it have real children who want things to go.
Yeah.
And their parents don't have a choice but to carry them. Does Ottawa have a children march, a children fete, a children thing? Who does do it?
Listen, that's the one thing I've been saying about this city. The teenagers have nowhere to be able to
No
have
way.
their expression,
Look where we go.
to be able to have
I don't
dances.
see this already. Babe, what you showing me now? Juve children thing in Toronto.
Well, yeah, they started doing that this year. When
We talking about that since I reached Canada, but I just didn't get a chance to sit with nobody yet because remember I moving forward, scrutinizing who I dealing with and who I having conversation with too.
So we just play with Salina every year. And a partner of mine just bring the section. We
Right,
just play with Rodney every year.
right.
It don't matter what color, what
Yeah, what they're going.
That is we section. And every year we just talk to people and bring them and grow. We be part of the section. In Trinidad, we recruiting people to come.
You hear we know say? Say it one more time for me.
We recruit
Listen,
in.
No,
We
say
talk-
it all
we bring
over.
in. We bring in
Every year We just bring
two more,
people inside.
and then they bring two more.
You see how you see how that does work, right? You see how that does work?
Yeah.
Somebody just had to bring somebody bring somebody. But when people come to your meeting, you have to let them leave being enlightened. Because if it's just our life and we're just talking shippiness, we're not going to make no progressive steps.
The little ones
sit and put things into.
The little ones just tell me, Dad, nobody in school knows about carnival. I say, well, there's your job. You're going to teach them as you grow.
Exactly.
And they will know.
Exactly.
They could hear the music.
And that can save carnival and culture.
Yeah. They have to spread it.
That can save it. Let me tell you something, right? When we used to go to tribe meetings, how do you think tribe put themselves on the map? How do you think Rand put himself on the map? Because they had a core team. Everyone understood the mission and everyone did what they are expected to do, and they move forward. We cannot expect Ottawa to have presence if Ottawa does not have the presence. So we have to wave some flag, think of something that nobody will do. And when they say, "Where the Ottawa crew? They're in front there. Ottawa, come to the front." We in front, pelting. Hear me? I say we.
You say we. You moving?
Welcome.
Marissa,
Oh, it's time for me to look
know,
up. It's time for me to come out of this interview. It's time for me to come out of this interview. But guys, you all see where we're going with it. Like, we have to be real strategic. We can't move by guess. We have to put things in place. And like I say, it's not going to be easy. It's going to require a lot of work. So you need as much team players with you. We need as much. We need to market. We need to be in the face. You need to get in and around boards and be able to lobby for things to happen. And nobody might be showing interest now, and all they might feel that all they do have the power. They only get in the ears or the minister or the equivalent of the minister of culture for Ottawa. And let them say, "Oh, they see us about the carnival. What? Send the proposal." And they say, "Listen, we bring in this is what we intend to do. We will start so we will think and let me market it 3 places and watch."
Mr. Wisdom, do you have any solutions?
I think it's all been spoken to already. The only I don't want to open up another
Let's draw it out.
man have things to do and places to be. I would say this, and I say this very reservedly, and I say it very universally. The mentality change that I would want to see with regards to our culture is a shift in mindset that says, if I am going to make this, I don't want to use a number, but let's say
X.
I'm going to make X.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be vexed that someone else is making X. If I can make my X and the next man can make a X, we should all be happy with X.
So let me just add to it.
Let me finish.
I want to add it.
Let me finish.
I want to add it.
I think the mentality that has to be lost is I'm going to stop you from making X just to secure my
Well,
X.
if that we waiting on, that will not happen.
But listen to what I'm saying. It's a shift in mentality because it all has to happen at once.
That's not going to happen, bro.
Hear what I'm telling you. The reason the city, now you see, you say you want to jump in things and give out and dish out licks. The reason this city is in the state that it is because every time someone has an X and someone else come out with an X, the person with the X is stopping and saying, instead of me making my X better, I am just going to focus my energy on stopping your X so that I can keep my X.
So I have a question to ask.
Go ahead.
This person that you're talking about.
I'm not speaking of any.
No. Sorry.
No names.
Sorry. This example. These people, these groups, this reference. These people is God out.
No.
Because God is the only person who could stop you from doing something.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. In my whole life, they always tell me no. It had this one time I was bringing out a rhythm called the Trample Rhythm. And I really wanted Marshall on that rhythm. And Glenroy Watson at the time heard my idea and said, "I'm investing in you. Go ahead." And I say, "But Marshall and voice not the rhythm, I have all the songs." I say, "Me feeling to put it out yet." He say, "You're a jack. So what?" I say, "What do you mean?" I said, Daddy, why want to rhythm? Daddy King of Soka. He him. So if he ain't jump on this rhythm, you go and cancel your song, this one song, that one song, that one song, that one song. I say, well, yeah, he said, well, you're a jackass. I need to pull away from you. Mm-hmm. And that is all he had to say to me. And after that, Give Them a Little Trample was one of the biggest songs in the world. Mm-hmm. So what if I did say, well, boy, me putting it out and stand by that? Mm-hmm. The moral of the story I was trying to tell you is, you see, what you could do, do. Everything else that you can't do, it has somebody else who fighting behind you who you don't even know, you can't even see fighting, boy. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit down to study nobody who want to stop me because I know my God bigger than them.
Okay.
I sure about that. When I come out at Ara Rhythm, they tell me no. When I come out at Carnival, I Love You, they say no. When Chinese Laundry and them blackball me and say, do promoters, they follow Bucky or like that thing, and I'm still here today, boy. Yeah. You feel like that's me? You crazy. You mad.
No, you was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Push up.
Sorry. I thought it was Edwin. Sorry.
I see
But
friends.
he kind of look like the artist crazy.
Hey,
you
You weren't there for that yesterday.
Oh God.
Don't make him.
We'll tell you after. We'll tell
My
you after.
apologies. I didn't know.
But anyway.
The hair will come out and everything.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
But the moral of the story is, don't study them. What coming bigger than them and it coming at the right time. We have work to do.
I want you to. I hear you.
We have work to do.
Yeah, I hear you.
Remember you was asking us last year about the perfect
The
party?
perfect fit. Yeah.
And I was like,
The
as long as the
food
music
gathering.
playing, we could fill in all
Hey, I
all
don't
the
know.
all the rest.
I don't know nothing about Ottawa, right? I don't know nothing about Ottawa. They're my first time here. But as I'm under study people, study things, study systems. I naturally like that. And I come in here. Forget about the event that going on later. I don't see where people done shifting and done frightened already, but all you can see. I see it already. You want to know how I see it?
Go ahead.
I hear how. Because a particular person say, Ottawa was lame with vibes. If someone lame with vibes, you go rush to come back there. But as soon as the flyer with this did come out, I see a flyer come out one time with them same people who say that I will leave that.
Okay, we're done. Hey!
Oh,
Not our next word. We're done.
Bye-bye.
That's it. Good night.
I thought Ottawa lame. I thought it lame. Anyway, I enjoy the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for having me. My name is Dawg E Slaughter.
My God.
Hey, you made it all the way here. I appreciate you and your time. If you found value in this conversation, please share it out. If there was somebody that popped into your mind, take action and share it out with them. It possibly may not be them that will benefit, it's that they know somebody that will benefit from listening to this conversation. So please take action and share out the podcast. You can find us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok under Lift Oneself. And if you want to inquire about the work that I do and the services that I provide to people, come over on my website, come into a discovery call, liftoneself.com. Until next time, please remember to be kind and gentle with yourself. You matter.